And I'm going to bring in Mr. Eric Bravin, who's a representative for number 1.
Hey, Sharice.
Hello, Tom.
Eric, are you there for Murano Expediting Service?
Yes, it's actually Christina Bravin. My device died, so I had to jump on another one. We lost power from the storm. I'm sorry. And for some reason, this Zoom link, I'm not getting the camera option. So I apologize. Here we go.
You just had it. I turned it off. Give me a sec.
Oh, okay, great.
Sorry, I'm on 2.
Here we go. Yes. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hey, name and address for the record, please.
So it's Christina Bravin, Murano Expediting, 28 Edward Street, Bethpage, New York, 11714. Agent for the applicant.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated August 4th, 2020. Survey by William Simmons dated April 1st, 2011. Tax map acting as an area map
And Mr. Chairman, some files I left at the office again. I have the 13th for tonight.
and that's it. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay, so we're requesting permission to construct a sunroom addition, increasing the maximum allowed building area from 15% to 19.7%. The sunroom is 11 feet, 10 inches by 10 feet for a total of 115 square feet. The height will be 8 foot 3 inches to the ridge, and it's going to be accessed and flush with the first floor of the home. So the original dwelling is included with the detached garage, currently at 17.3%. So they had already exceeded the building area. So any alteration would require us to come before the board. So the property is zoned A, which allows a 1-story dwelling to have a building area of 30%. However, a 2-story dwelling is only allowed the 15%. This is a 1.5-story cape, so they fall into the 2-story dwelling requirement, leaving them only 15% maximum allowed. The immediate area is moderately vegetated, tends to get extremely buggy, which is the reason why they'd like to put the sunroom addition, just so that they can be outside but inside, and just add the elements. We feel it's in keeping with the area. It seems to conform to other homes. And there is currently no access to the backyard from the rear wall of the house. I believe you do have the photos. So they'll just put an entrance directly into the sunroom, and then they'll have access to the yard from the sunroom. So if you have any questions, I have the plans with me. Happy to answer anything.
Would you agree to a condition that the sunroom not be heated?
Yes.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Nope.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, excuse me, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week for further comments, and you'll get the decision in the mail.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I have Mr. Cardino in for application number 2. All right, you're good, Mr. Cardino.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
Doing well.
Need your name and address for the record, please.
Natal Cardino, 14 Seaway Drive, Copeg, New York.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated August 4th, 2020. A survey by Michael K. Wicks dated March 28th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. That's it. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay, so I had an above ground pool. And then I wanted to make it an in-ground pool. So I hired Done Right Pools to do that, and then I put in for a permit. It was denied. And I thought it would be okay because I had a pool and a deck that was actually bigger than the one I'm putting in now, above ground. But I was told that since it's an in-ground pool, I have to go through a variance again, and here I am.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Delvecchio.
Yeah.
Is he here?
I don't think Steve made it.
He's not
Not
here.
here.
Yeah, they're probably, okay, so this is all you're doing is putting in a pool and you're just coming here for a lot coverage due to the fact that, you know, the pool's in ground as opposed to above ground.
Yes,
And that's the only variance. You have side yard and rear yards are legal.
yes.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions. Any other questions from the board?
No.
Would anyone like to be heard on this application?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there is one person registered to speak, so I'm going to bring them in now.
Okay.
Just give me one sec. There we go. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I need to know where actually the pool is being put.
Okay, first we need,
Above ground pool was,
now, hold on a sec. I need your name and address for the record.
Mr. Nath, your name and address for the record, please.
Narendranath, 16 Seaway Drive, Copeg, New York.
Okay, and do affirm to tell the truth.
Excuse me?
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
I am his neighbor.
Okay, what would you like to tell us? What was your question about the application?
I want to know if the pool is being put at the same location where the above ground pool was.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. Would anyone else like to be heard on this application? The record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. Keep the record open for 1 week. You'll get the decision in the mail.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm happy to
Okay,
join the meeting. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late.
Hello, David.
Going to bring in Mr. DeMarco for number 3. Louis, you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yep. Can I have your name and address for the record, please?
Louis DeMarco, 823 North Fulton Avenue, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated August 4th, 2020. Survey by Joseph Petito dated May 6th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. Okay, what would you like to tell us about your application?
Yes, I applied for a in-ground pool, 14 by 28. You know, during right before the coronavirus started, because I have 2 young kids. Just wanted to give them something to do for the summer, and the permit was denied, saying that there was wasn't enough adequate room. So that's why I put in for a variance.
Okay, so it's lot coverage. It's because you're adding stuff to your lot, and that's the only variance you're seeking. There are no side yards or rear yard variances. It's strictly just for lot coverage, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and I see you're going to remove the shed that's back there. Is that correct?
Well, I actually moved it. I moved it to the other side to give it more room.
Okay,
So it's so there's more space added.
you got more space there. I got you. Okay. All right. Any questions from the board?
Hmm.
Would
Mr.
anyone like-
Chairman, just note that number 3 in the board's correspondence is a correspondence from a neighbor in support of the application.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to close the hearing. Reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open for 1 week for further comments. And you'll get the decision in the mail.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good night.
You
Sure,
too.
take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.
We're gonna bring in Chris for application number 4.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Dan, need your name and address for the record, please?
Christopher Siafi, 28 Avenue I, Farmingdale, New York, 11735.
Hey, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated August 4th, 2020. We have a survey by Barry Farr dated January 17th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. Okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay, we're requesting a variance. We're looking to add a 10-foot extension to the side of our property. We are on a corner lot on the corner of Avenue I and Hickory Street. And the 10-foot extension would be on the Hickory Street side. And because it's a side property, we're told there should be a 30-foot setback, and our extension would put us out to 20.3 feet. The house right behind us, which is facing on Woodland Avenue and also side property to Hickory Street, is actually closer to the street than we would be extending to. So we felt like it would be consistent with the other property on this block. And then the other part is the front of the house. We're looking to do a front portico addition, which would, I'm sorry, I don't have the number of feet in front of me, but that would extend into the front of the yard.
Okay, so side yard that you're going out on, is that the secondary side yard you're going out on? That's on the corner?
Yes, sir. It's a corner lot, corner property, and it's on the Hickory Street side.
So you're going out on that side, okay. And the front yard, so it's only a portico? That's all you're putting on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's already, in that case, it's already short to the front yard. It's not, wasn't conforming prior to this, right? It wasn't 30 feet?
On the front of the yard, yes.
Yeah, I believe on Avenue I, they had a conforming front yard, and they're coming out a little over 5 feet.
5 feet, okay. Yeah, for some reason I don't have a survey. So, okay.
We just wanted to note that planning had recommended a condition.
Yeah, I see that. The front porch is not, would you agree to a condition that the front porch or a portico would not be enclosed? You're putting just a portico, right?
Yes, just the
We're just
portico.
asking that that portico never be enclosed.
Okay, yes,
You would agree to that?
yes.
All right. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, hold the record open for 1 week, and you will get the decision in the mail. Thanks for coming tonight. Well, thanks for getting on tonight. It's not coming anyplace.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good
Thank you.
night.
I'm gonna bring in Nicole Blanda for number 5.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Nicole.
Nicole. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Nicole Blanda, address Bazell Blanda Visconti, 535 Broad Hollow Road in Melville.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated August 4th, 2020. Survey, but this is the proper survey by Barry Farr dated January 17th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. And that's it. What would you like to tell us about the application?
I'm just going to screen share the aerial. This parcel, it does enjoy single and separate status. Just give me a second here. Brian, I hit share, right?
Yeah, share, and then you can choose between applications and your entire desktop, I believe.
Okay. And it's not letting me share.
Do you have the share button or no?
Yeah, it did. Oh, wait, here we go.
There we go.
Okay. So this lot over here you see is now vacant. However, 2 years ago, this house was here. So the photo that you see over here, it was demolished, I'm told, by the town because it was abandoned and had bad fire damage. My client bought this parcel back in January, already vacant. Again, it does enjoy single and separate status. I'm just going to pull up the survey. How do I move it around, Brian? It's blocking me here. Wait. Okay, here we go. Nope, those are house plans. Those are house plans. I'm sorry, everybody. There we go. There's the survey. So we're proposing a new house. It would be the same variances that were granted essentially back in 1963. This house was originally put up back then and did enjoy case number 614 variances. So we're looking for frontage going from 60 feet to 48.5, lot area from 6,000 square feet to 4,858 square feet, and a small rear yard variance from 30 feet to 28.67. Just for the board's edification, there was a rear yard variance back in 63 as well for the house back then. It would be an open concept floor plan, very beautiful home. You see it's a 2-car driveway with an internal garage, so we're not concerned about off-street parking. And if you look at the aerial, there are other lots that are similar. So these 2 lots right on Catskill, it's a frontage on 28th and Catskill, and then right over here, these 2 are the same size as this parcel. I would imagine they were developed the same back then. So, minimal variances. It did have a prior approval, and it does enjoy single and separate status.
Okay. There are a number of covenants and restrictions.
Yes.
And conditions. Would you agree to all of those standard ones?
Yes, I see there are 13, and we would consent to all of them, single family, owner occupied, etc.
Okay. All right. No other questions? Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week for further comments, and you'll get the decision in the mail. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, for application number 6, I have Steve Kretz. Hey, what's going on, Steve? Just asking you to unmute, and then you'll be good.
Good. Okay. Very good. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, esteemed council, etc. My name is Steve Kretz of Donahue, Kretz & Garabrandt, 692 South Wellwood Avenue, Lindenhurst, attorneys for the applicants. This is
Okay, let me just repeat.
Oh,
let me just
excuse me,
bring
I'm
this up.
sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, go ahead.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated August 4th, 2020. We have a lot of plans here. I'm just going to read in. There's a survey by Jody Babinski. What was that date? Oh, here we go. January 3rd, 2019. Now, there's a bunch of plans by Joseph Deal, Bowler Engineering, actually, Joseph Deal. They include subdivision plans, apartment site plans, grading and drainage, soil erosion control, landscaping plans, utility plans, detail sheet. Then there is one big overall plan, also by Joseph Deal from Bowler Engineering, and they were all dated February 13th, 2001.
And Mr. Chairman, I also have the subdivision plan, which was included in your memo package by Joseph A. Deal. And I also have a Town of Babylon tax map. Steve, I can bring these up if you need either.
Thank you. Okay.
I think this application is pretty visual, so I had these at the ready just in case.
That's great. Thank you, Brian. This site is owned basically by three members of the Spellman family. Cliff Spellman was the original owner and developer of this over 50 years ago. Cliff was as I'm sure many of you remember or know, was a member of the Town of Babylon board, town board for many years, and very instrumental in the development of the town and of this particular section of the town. During the course of his operations, he accumulated these properties and merged them together and developed the shopping center, which was called La Grande Place at one time. After he passed away, pursuant to the terms of his will, this property was divided basically into three owners, his three sons, Donald, Kevin, and Mark. And they in turn have, operated them and run them in accordance with the way it was. Donald Spellman, the son who was local, owns the apartment complex, which you can see on the screen is in the rear of the property. And that is the reason for tonight's hearing. The rest of the area, the shopping center especially, has been very successful. They've had a lot of very successful merchants in there. Right now, my clients are very eager to get this application processed because they have an excellent proposed tenant, who has signed an agreement with them, a lease, to take occupancy. The name of the company is Fresenius. They are a dialysis center, and they apparently are throughout the country very involved in that area. The time that the lease provided for the Spellmans to deliver their place has long since expired by several months. Through a lot of negotiating and I think giving up of some benefits, the Spellmans have been able to keep that contract alive, but Fresenius is apparently running out of patience and are really eager to go. They have encountered many obstacles to getting this done.
What does this have to do with it?
Which would include getting, the approval of the Suffolk County Department of Health Services and upgrading all of the underground septic systems and so forth. and getting our subdivision done. The properties are owned primarily by the three brothers, but in their individual industrial names or corporate names. And that has been complicated. I mean, I think we started off with.
Steve, I think what the zoning board needs to hear is that the reason we're having this subdivision is because of Board of Health, and they're requiring for the cesspools for Nob Hill and their parking lot now to become part of their property, so
Yes,
that
Kate.
it can make life easier, so that basically it's going to be 4 different individual lots. And this way everyone has their own, and parking lot is now part of Nob Hill, where it was part of the shopping center before, and they're taking part of the north lot because that's where the cesspools are. So
Okay.
that's what subdivision is going on, and that's why the setbacks are the way they are. The buildings were built like this under e-business back in the 60s, and that's what we need to legalize right now.
Thank you, Kate. I couldn't have said it nearly as good as you just did.
I just was trying to make it short and sweet, okay?
Short and sweet. I understand. Kate has worked very hard on this. She knows this plan better than anyone. What we are doing is adding property that belongs, as Kate I think just said, will belong to the property that the apartments are on, and so we are increasing the size of the site. We are increasing the number of parking spaces available for those lots. And even though we are short of what the code requirements are, they have never had a problem with parking. And I think we're making it better. So I think it's basically a net gain for the town in general with respect to the operation of this site, and for the owners to be able to support the businesses that exist there.
So, Steve,
Yes.
so the buildings exist, this is the way the buildings are, and we're just adding these pieces to that property to legalize that?
That's right. We're taking it from one lot, the larger lot, and adding it to this apartment lot to increase the on-site parking for that. Now, this is the way it was approved over 50 years ago, and the way they have operated it the entire time since then. And I bet Kate was there when they cut the ribbon. For crying out
Oh, sure. You're really cruising now, Steve.
Time to get approved, Steve.
Sorry, Kate.
Not that long ago.
So then,
so we have been to the town board for rezoning, which has been approved. We've been to the planning board for site plan approvals, and that has been approved. So this is our final stop, and
okay,
so far it's been encouraging.
Can you just clarify one thing for me? I'm a little bit confused. What's this medical care? How does that play into this? Do they need this to be able to have them as tenants? Is that the thing?
Yes, the Fresenius organization with the what is it? Dialysis center. Yes, it's a national organization. They will take up a lot of the space that has become vacant in the center. They have, very solid operation, and I think this will help the Spellmans very much in the long term to maintain this center in a successful way as it has always been run.
So at the end of the day, we're not really changing anything. It's really just getting everything legalized and put in place and so on. So it's not, there's no change that should affect anybody here at the end of the day.
That's right. We're merging tax lots. There are something like that, an awful lot of tax lots, which developed over the years, and of course now that gets more and more complicated to clear up. But we're in the middle of doing that too, once this is approved.
Hopefully it's approved.
Well, yeah, yes, sir. Of course. I don't mean to be presumptuous.
Okay, John's not here either, right? Shepherd?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. So I don't, any other questions from the board?
No.
Okay, so would anyone like to be heard on this application? Okay, so we're gonna close the hearing, reserve decision, to keep the record open for 1 week for further comments, and you'll get the decision in the mail.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
Take
Thank
care.
you,
Thank
Kate.
you.
No problem. Steve.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good evening, everyone. If we all have our agendas, we can move right to page 8. The application is 20-057 Service Truck Tire Center. The other matters in between all remain reserved. So 20-057, this property is located in West Babylon. The fire marshal is satisfied. Additional permits will be needed. However, that is the purpose of them asking for the variance, so they can now go forward with their interior renovations. So the board can move if it chooses. The updated report is number 2 in your correspondence.
Okay, Tom, you okay with this one?
I'm fine with it. It's just a matter of how much time do we give. This is a big operation, so should we give it more than the 1 year or?
Yeah, probably, I think would make sense.
I'm sorry, Nick.
I think that would make sense. More than 1
Okay.
year.
I'll make a motion to approve application 20-057 for a period of 3 years, beginning on the issuance of the CO.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to page 9 of the agenda, we have the 2 lots that are located in West Babylon on Manhattan Avenue. There was additional correspondence sent to the board from Nicole Blanda. It is number 4 in your packet. She was noting prior approvals and similar lot sizes of lots in the immediate vicinity. Does the board have any questions? If this should be approved, we would defer to Joe if it needs a negative declaration, and it would be subject to covenants and restrictions.
It does need a negative declaration.
Tom, what do you think, Tom? That just.
I read over the stuff. I'm reluctantly gonna go with it. It seems like it does fit in with the neighborhood, so.
Great.
So we're gonna need a neg deck.
All right,
Correct.
I'll make a motion to adopt the negative declaration on application 20-04 A and B.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Okay,
And I'll make a motion to approve application 20-4A and 4B with the covenant restrictions noted in the building department memos.
Second.
favor?
Thank you. Moving on to page 10 of the agenda, we have Linzer Products. This property is located in Wyandanch. If you'll recall, there was additional correspondence received last week. At the last minute, we wanted the board to have a chance to review that. It's number 1 in your correspondence packet. I'm not sure, Brian, if Mr. Sinsaba is on the call or not, but he was made aware of the correspondence. If this application is approved, it would be subject to a covenant restriction regarding property maintenance.
Wasn't, that correspondence was in relation to the fence being higher? Weren't they putting up an 8-foot fence already here?
Yes.
They're asking for an 8-foot fence, yes. And I believe some of the issues in the correspondence would most likely be addressed with the property maintenance covenant.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's what they're talking about, you know, so I think they're trying to do the right thing here and, you know, put this up right and try and take care of the neighborhood. So, you know, that's Tom. Tom, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
It's Wyandanch?
Yeah, it's West Babylon, Wyandanch Avenue, West Babylon.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. The agenda's wrong.
No, not really. They're both, it's both Wyandotte and West Babylon.
Okay.
So, but in any case, I'll make a motion to approve 20-62 with the subject of the steel yard regarding property maintenance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to page 11, we have the applications that were heard last week. The first one is 20-073. This property is located in Lindenhurst. We need to have the exact language regarding the amendment for variance number 2.
Oh,
Brian or Kate?
I'm not back in the office till Tuesday. I can give it to you then.
This is, I'm sorry. It caught me off guard.
Timothy Smith, the property is on East Belterre
Yeah.
Avenue. Variance number 2 was being amended.
Yes.
So the original language is to increase the area of the private garage from 30% to 42% over by 342.48 square feet. At the meeting, it was discussed increasing the private garage from 250 square feet to 592 square feet over by 342 square feet. Is that the language that you would like in the
Correct,
decision?
yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, do you have that noted then?
yes,
Thank you.
okay.
So if approved, it would need to be done as amended, and this property is located in Lindenhurst.
Okay, so I make a motion to approve application 20-073 as amended. Have a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The bottom of page 11, the application is 20-072. This property is located in Copeg. There were no comments received. There are no conditions recommended.
Okay.
Motion.
We were good with this, as I recall, right? Yeah.
Who's Copig?
Yeah, Steve's not here. I make a motion to approve application 20, I'm sorry, 2020-072.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to page 12 of the agenda, the application is 20-071. This property is located in Deer Park. You will remember that planning was objecting to the second-story deck staircase, that the proximity to the yard boundary was objectionable to them. So the board may want to limit that.
John?
I went and took a look at it. I took a look at the property and the south side of the property where the staircase is going to be is really, really close. And to have a second-story deck overlooking the roof of the rear home behind them to the west, I don't know. I would have to tend to agree with planning on the second-story deck and stairs.
Okay, make a motion.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve 20-071 on variance number,
1
I
and 2.
guess we're gonna just change the, refuse the deck and the staircase. Now, what do we change here then?
Yeah, technically, if I could jump in,
ahead.
that variance is being triggered for 2 different reasons. You have the deck and the addition, so I think it would have to be a partial, if anything.
So,
Okay. So we get approved the erection of the second-story addition and reject the second-story rear deck and stairs.
so which one? So the first variance is the front yard variance, right? So that's not a problem, right? That's
Right, correct.
Our problem is the south side and the rear yard. Are those both affected by the deck and the stairs? Is that what it is?
Actually, I apologize. Number 2 technically corresponds with both, but number 3 is strictly for the deck.
Right, because the property line is 7.9 feet on the side of the addition also.
So
Yes.
then we would, okay, so then.
Yeah, I think, sorry, I apologize. You would focus on number 3.
That's, yeah, so then we're going to approve 1 and 2 and deny 3.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so should I continue the motion?
Yeah.
Approve 1 and 2 and deny variance number 3
Refer
and
to-
deny this deck and the staircase.
Refer to council second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The bottom of page 12 is 20-074 Sunrise Plaza Associates. This property is located in Lindenhurst, and at the hearing, the applicant had requested, if possible, a 5-year renewal. The last renewal was for 3 years.
Make a motion to approve application 20-074 for 3 years.
Second.
All in
How many
favor?
years was
3
that?
years?
3.
Yes.
Second. Breaking up here.
Yeah.
Page 13, Affordable Car Guru, 20-75. I would defer to planning, but I believe we just need to remove that from the agenda at this time since it's going to have to be re-advertised, correct?
Yeah, I've been speaking with the applicant. I called him actually today. He had planned on storing out there, and it seems like, obviously he would have to re-advertise and fix up the site plan. As of now, he's waiting to hear back from his landlord. I would remove it, and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the last page of the agenda. I believe all of your correspondence has been read and filed at this point, so we would just be looking for a motion to accept the minutes of July 23rd.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Tom.
Favor?
Aye.
And then we would just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Have a very nice night.